for an internal mass movement on a daily and periodic basis. In other words, the tourism opportunities that abound in Nigeria instigate continuous movement of people to one or a multiplicity of the attractions which may be for business, relaxation, recreation, or entertainment. In the process, goods and services are exchanged. Consequently, small-scale businesses thrive, incomes are generated, employment is promoted, and citizens are empowered. This leads to what we refer to as the multiplier effect within the tourism value chain. Besides income redistribution, there is promotion of intercultural understanding, political stability, and friendliness. However, in view of the fact that the data of these domestic activities has not been properly captured, the real impact of the sector in terms of its specific contribution to the economy with regards to number of jobs and amount generated is haphazard. This is one important reason why, on assumption of duties, the current NTDC management insisted that the Nigerian tourism conversation must be refocused from the international to the domestic. The idea is to ensure closer attention is paid to this silent but effective sector with a view to establishing in concrete terms, its visible contributions. To ensure this succeeds, we are reviewing the laws and establishing stronger working relationships with stakeholders in both the public and the private sector. The gracious acceptance by the Honorable Minister, Information, Tourism and Culture to host the CAF Tourism Ministers Conference in June 2018 is an added impetus as the issue of tourism statistics and tourism satellite account, which is important for our domestic tourism, will be discussed. Challenges. As already stated, the tourism data deficit makes it difficult to discuss issues of tourism convincingly at policy level for it to attract opportunities for funding. This is also worsened by the fact that Nigeria is yet to define and treat tourism as business. The NTDC management under my leadership also discovered, closely related to the above, the need for ideological transformation to ensure best practices are employed in our domestic tourism plans. As a result, an ambitious plan called the Chief was conceived to tackle some of the teething problems facing the Nigerian domestic tourism. The acronym for the Chief stands for corporate governance. The corporate governance has to do with weak stakeholder interactions and collaborations, and it's becoming one of the problems we have. Then the laws of the tourism industry are weak, even though processes are on to review and repeal them. Then human capital development, the NIHOTA DG has mentioned, and then there are challenges of infrastructure. Poor infrastructure makes accessibility to tourism sites a problem. Then marketing, there's weak marketing of the products that we have. And then funding, which is the finance. Other challenges are security, hate speech, negative publicity by the press, wrong or negative perception of the sector. Then there's issue of tribalism, poverty, ignorance of the value of tourism to Nigeria, and then other beliefs and religion. Based on this, I want to make the following recommendations quickly as I round out. Despite the foregoing, a lot can still be done. One, funding of tourism and related activities by adequate budgetary provision is very important so that accurate and reliable data on tourism will be gathered regularly to enable us establish the contribution of the tourism industry to the economy. The laws guiding the operations of the industry should be respected to avoid multiple standards among operators. There should be strong and regular collaboration with stakeholders, both private and public, prohibition of hate speech, and enforcement of relevant laws to serve as deterrent. Then avoid religious or ethnic sentiments. In conclusion, may this summit afford us the opportunity to streamline our views on the very important subject so that we will rise with the right perception that will galvanize our domestic tourism industry for the creation of jobs, empowerment, security, and development. I will not conclude without selling to you the Tour Nigeria brand. It is a timely and visionary brand for promoting domestic tourism in Nigeria. It showcases the true spirit of Nigeria and tells the story of the essence of Nigeria through different expressions, thereby promoting a positive image for the country and strengthening the ties that bind Nigerians to each other and the world. I therefore invite you to tour Nigeria. Please tour Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Please, another round of applause for Mr. Mabo Melfiel. To crown this session, we'll have a goodwill message from Mr. Tilahon Tadese, the Traffic and Sales Manager, Ethiopia Airways.
First of all, I would like to thank for giving me this chance. Okay, thank you. And family of queens and family of kings and kings and queens, I would like to say very much thank you to see you in front of you. And I want to say one thing regarding about tourism and transportation in Nigeria. By the way, my name is Dalaun. It seems like Ethiopian, but I am from Niger almost. And I want to say Niger is a big. Niger will continue as a big. Why I'm saying this, Nigeria is big. And I want to start with positive. Nigeria, you can, world can say many things about Nigeria. But when I believe and I see Nigeria, Nigeria is big in all terms. You can count the population, you can see in economy, you can see in all things. We do have many big positive parameters. But we have open things and we should close that open things. We need to work together. Ethiopian Airlines, I can say from my head office people, and I know most of you know my head office people. My head office people sent me here, Talahun, you are not representing there only like Ethiopian Airlines, but you are representing Nigerian people there. So I feel always like Nigerian here. And then I want to say thank you very much again, my queens and kings. And as you can see from overview the presentation, Ethiopian Airlines Group corporate overview of how we are, where we are in this month, in this year. Ethiopian Airlines established in 1914, as you may know, so it is more than 17 years now we've started. And then we are flying more than 100 destinations in the world. Can you move, please? So as you can see from this, it is very easy how we start and also how we are going now. We are keeping, we are expanding, we are moving in all parameters. Thank you. This one. So, in all parameters we are moving thanks to Nigerian people, mainly because Nigeria is our main destinations, and also like China and America. Thanks to you, we are moving upward. And in flight service, we are in all parameters, we are working hard to satisfy our queens and kings. When you are being in a flight, we want to give you our hospitality. Very hospitality. I think hospitality is very mandatory in tourism. So you have to feel like you are in home in your flights. And then Ethiopian key factors, you can see our cargo uplifters and passenger uplifters. We are keeping moving. And we have big vision 2025 has made the Ethiopian Airlines the largest African carriers in Africa. So this is the 17 years movement, and you can see that we are still moving. And we do have a big success. We are now being 4-star carrier, thanks to you again. And then record success, you can see that we are still moving. Now we are working to be the best airline in not in Africa only, but in the world. And in 21st century is African century. It has been said before with many excellency. They said too about this thing. So 21st century is African century. As you may know, the Middle East carriers, they are flying to Africa, the Turkish Emirates and the other carriers to than Ethiopian Airlines. But now we are expanding our wings to all African destinations, including this year we have added another destinations like Antananarivo in Madagascar, and also other destinations in central Congo, Kinshasa. So we are moving to expand the African flying nations. And also this year what we have, the big thing, a transmission plan, Ethiopian Airlines, this is a big success that you can say as country. And Ethiopian Airlines strategy, we are starting flying to Sao Paulo directly from Ethiopia, which connect many people from Asia and also Africa and the Middle East. And also we have started flying to Buenos Aires in Argentina. So we can connect the West African people easily via Lome and Abidjan to Sao Paulo and Newark. And it will give a very easy movement. So we can say that Ethiopian Airlines is connecting all continents except Australia. So we are a member of Star Alliance. I know most of you know that. We have 20 domestic destinations, and we are largest cargo operator in Africa. We have inaugurated the big cargo house in Africa this last year. And our MRO, as you know, it is very high and very big. And we do have also the aviation school, big aviation schools. And we want to say something about Ethiopian Airlines Hotel. Ethiopian Airlines Hotel is going to end this year. So that our connecting flights, as you know it, most of you have like connection problem in Addis Ababa. And we have hotel inconveniences most of the time I had from my customer, Queens and Kings. Now we have 5-star hotel beside the airport side, so which will accommodate more than 300 seats. So we will not have any problem regarding hotels for stay over in Addis. And it will continue. Previously, Ethiopian Airlines was separate entities on the airports. So now airport enterprises is merged like together, even though it is with separate entity. So which will also facilitate our work at the airport. So our airport is going to handle around more than 20 million pupils. The capacity is going to be doubled next year. This is a new airport expansion including. We are also working on gender equality. This is our major industrial award recognition we got in this year. So I want to say thank you. And this year we are going to fly more than 10 destinations. So we'll fly to Buenos Aires, we'll fly to Barcelona, Geneva directly, and Manchester United, and also other African destinations. I would like to thank you for giving me this chance. Thank you very much.
A very big thank you to Ethiopian Airways for that wonderful presentation. We'll take 2 questions before we break for lunch. Microphones, please.
Wow. Good afternoon. My name is Otumba Ayo Olumoko. I think that this particular session is a very wonderful session. Very, very wonderful session. And I think more or less they are expected to talk more. I don't have a question. I want to make a contribution, please. They're expected to talk more about marketing. And I think Ethiopia Airline has called us queens and kings. And they've been able to demonstrate how they have been growing since 1945, or since 1940 something, which is very good. From all that he has said, we will see that he has only told us about capacity building and how they've been training their people to get their goals for them. Same thing, I want to appreciate the DG of NAOTO, who has come here to tell us something new, to what we've been hearing from others before. She's been able to tell us what she intended to do, also in the area of training and what she knows what she'll be doing within the next 3 years, which is a very good one. Basically, in the hospitality industry too, my friend, the MD of Transcorp, has done very well. He has harped so much on marketing, on how they've been able to train their staff, which is more or less their wealth. They take time in doing this within not rushing things in the Nigerian way. And you see, these are the things that we want to come out and hear. Not telling us about what is in existence. I'll, laying it out all the time, and then we'll be saying we are coming here for summit. Basically, I want to summarily say that what we actually really needed is attitudinal change. And I'm sure that in my own time, Nigeria will still have an airline where, just like what the Ethiopia Airline have just done, doing a corporate social responsibility and telling us how they've been collecting our money, and they still want us to come as kings and queens. So please, to our speakers, we appreciate all that you have done, but we will, personally, I want to say that most of you, because we are here to get a communique. If we clap for you, we are not only clapping for you because you've said something new, but for those that are saying things we've been hearing before, we still clap for them to encourage them. But I want to say specifically that we really need good orientation for our people. We need to change ourselves so that we can really move forward. And of course, this summit is a very nice summit. It has only picked transportation and tourism. Of course, there is no way you can talk about tourism without talking about all the other ingredients that follow tourism. But I tell you, if we did not develop our destination, our tourist sites, of course, vis-a-vis the transportation, there will be nothing that people that we are going to transport, you know, the international tourists we are going to transport, there's nothing they'll be coming to to enjoy as a tourist site. Of course, an hotel, if it's very good, is a tourist site. So please, I want us to have attitudinal change, and so that, you know, for our generation that is coming, so they can really have something to also do and develop this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lucky George, a question from you, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Lucky Honorode George. I'm the publisher of African Travel Times magazine. Just to add to what Otumba just said, I think there are specific phrases, words that we have loved to hear from all the presentations. But the way they were explained, I do understand them very well. But to the industry, there are specific words that are being used when you are talking of tourism development globally. We talk about inclusive development. That is what we need. We need to fix the road, the electricity, the other infrastructure we talk about. So the word is inclusive tourism development. I have been a beneficiary of Ethiopia Airlines because I do business with them in the past. They fly me to wherever I go around the world. But am I happy? No. A country of 180 million people, we cannot have a functional airline. It's disgraceful. And this is one of the reasons why I came here to learn, to hear specifically from those who are in charge, the ministries, and of course to let us know when are we having a national carrier. Don't miss words. Without a national carrier, our tourism industry will be dead. I came here from Calabar to Lagos a few days ago. I traveled by road. It was a 13-hour journey. How do you promote tourism in such a terrible situation? Now, the bottom line is, with a summit like this, the communique will be issued. This, what I think, is a big challenge to the organizer. Would the government run with a communique from a summit like this? If they would, at what time? Because the more time we lose on our tourism running, the more we are left behind. I don't want to talk about Ghana or other countries, what they've done. But I sincerely believe that this is a time for us to push the tourism industry. And again, we must do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. We had an opportunity for just 2 contributions or questions, and we've taken 2 already. Well, I'm very sorry, but we're done for this session, please. We'll break up now for lunch break. We'll start with our special guest and also those on the panel who will go out first. The ushers, please, will help in directing how this will happen. I want to most kindly thank our panelists for wonderful contributions